Hey, good morning. This is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets, driving while talking about markets. Okay, anything said in this piece is an opinion only, of course. Remember, I talk about fundamentals. I don't necessarily talk about technicals on this. If you want technicals, you're going to have to pull out a graph and you're going to have to study the ups and downs. Those traders who are scalpers or day traders or swing traders will need some more supporting information in addition to what I'm giving. So I'm giving overall fundamentals, giving a market wrap. I'm giving you some idea and direction based on fundamentals, gut feeling, emotions, etc., etc. So let's kick off. So the markets had another volatile day yesterday. Again, not really sure which direction they're going. They were up, they were down, and the Dow end up, and the US end up finishing up. Remember that Jerome Powell was in Sweden yesterday giving a talk to the Sveriges Riksbank in Sweden, and he did not mention anything at all about policy. All he talked about was maintaining the independence of the central bank and not getting involved in things like climate change. That gave absolutely no indication, direction or guidance whatsoever to markets. Okay, even though they were expecting some indication, nothing actually happened. There's a lot of volatility. There's some things that have happened in the market which is quite interesting. There's more and more firms are laying off staff. So Amazon is laying off thousands of workers, especially in the UK. You've got Coinbase is laying off 20% of their workforce. They've already just laid off 20% of their workforce. So they're laying off 20% of their workforce. Now, what's happening is that Coinbase not only was laying off 20% of its workforce, its shares went up as a result, simply because the workforce is the biggest component of a cost base of a company. Okay, so by Coinbase laying off 20% of the workforce, then the shares went up. Also, Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, came out and attacked FTX and the whole management of FTX and the way it was based and running, etc., etc. So what you had there is, what they're trying to do with FTX is go to the charitable donations. Wait for this one. The liquidators trying to go to the charitable donations that were made by FTX, go to those charities and get the money back from those charities because they were made on an illegal basis. All right. Now, which charity is going to pay back the money? Why should they go to charities to pay back the money from the FTX collapse? Remember, FTX was the second biggest crypto platform around. Okay, moving on to a couple of other things. We've got FX, foreign exchange. Right, so strange this one. So the dollar was slightly stronger yesterday at certain stages. It's moving all over the place, not really sure which direction it's going in, because they're concerned or not really sure or clear regarding inflation and interest rates. Now, we've got inflation numbers out on Thursday, which is the consumer price index, and the market's expecting a lower number, and that's one of the reasons why the equity markets went up. Now, I don't believe that number is going to be weaker, and if it is weaker, it's only going to be weaker for a short period of time, because the real undercurrent of inflation has not gone. It's still there. In fact, you as the Joe public, as a member of the public, you can feel that the cost of living is just going up and up and up, but the official measure of inflation is going down, yet it's costing you, the household, more money to live. So it's a bit of a paradox here, and therefore the real inflation number is much higher than the 5, 6, 7, 8% that's quoted by the central banks or the labor statistics departments. Okay, that figure is expected to be lower on Thursday, and that's pushed up equity prices. In addition to that, in the US, you've got earnings beginning now, and they've got on Friday, and this week you've got a load of bank earnings, and they're expecting those bank earnings to be much higher than previously. Now, the likelihood is that they will. Several reasons. Number one, the banks are laying off staff. Goldman Sachs has laid off 3,200 workers. Okay, so not only are they laying off staff, they're charging higher interest rates on their loans, overdrafts, and any mortgages. Now, that's where the banks make their money. the retail banks, the local banks, make the money off interest rates. So as interest rates go up, effectively their profit margin goes up. Okay, so I just correct this 1 second. That's it. It's irritating me, that. Whatever. Anyhow, so let's keep swinging in the. This is driving me mental. That's it. Okay. So the banks make money off their interest rates. Okay, and as the interest rates rise, that's effectively their margin, their profitability goes up. So you can expect bank earnings to rise when they start reporting. The JP Morgans, the Morgan Stanleys, Signature Banks, Mellon Banks, Goldman Sachs, etc. expect big profitability there. Now, interestingly enough, crypto also creeped up yesterday a little bit. It went above 17,400. Remember, Bitcoin talking about. Bitcoin has been really quiet of late, but it seems to be creeping up a little bit. As more the market is quiet and equities are moving up, it looks like that the bulls or the buyers are coming back in with a little bit more nerve now and putting the fears aside of which exchange is going to go bust. Interestingly enough, Binance has had $12 billion in withdrawals. Okay, that's huge. So that's a lot of withdrawals from the Binance platform, and that also is not good, because the more money that's sucked out, the less liquidity there is in the crypto sector. Okay, so pay attention to the withdrawals being made and where the crypto sector is at. I've got to mention Tesla. Tesla is likely to fall below $100 a share, and then it will look like a buy at about $90 a share, $95 a share. It will look like a buy, Tesla, overall, because it's come all the way down from $230. So it's probably approaching the region whereby it's beginning to look like a buy, even with its problems it has in China and production and pricing, delivery, etc., etc. Could look like a buy at the $95 a share level. Okay, that's more or less it. This is Mayor Valensky with Driving Markets. I hope you're enjoying the channel. Catch you later.